What's up, everyone? Dave Bush here, Kansas Sports HQ Studio. Episode 13 today.
On that grind, man.
Yeah. It is 13. It's pretty crazy, but our product placement today is Prima Ancestral Protein Bars. I can't really show that out there, but yeah, it's good stuff made with tallow, right, Sean? I mean, these are courtesy of Sean and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
let's talk about it a little bit.
Well, it popped up on my Instagram feed a lot, so I was like, well, let's try it. I ordered it's like a reoccurring thing, so it's like every 2 weeks it sends me X amount of bars,
Okay.
and I kept forgetting to I
Cancel it?
Yeah, I thought I would eat them more, and I didn't. So I have boxes of them now. I did cancel it eventually, but they're good. I just didn't.
You just didn't think you could keep up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kept forgetting to eat them.
Why can I not see Sean on my screen?
I don't know.
Where are you at?
I see it all there myself.
I don't understand.
I adjust the grid.
I don't know.
Just my grid.
Ours is backwards, I guess.
I don't
these
know.
things are pretty good. I like the isn't it honey?
Raw honey.
Yeah, the honey that's in it make it tasty to me.
Yeah, you like the honey raw.
Raw honey.
Yep.
It's kind of sticky, which is a little weird. But,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
texture's kind of
a little
Yeah.
chewy. Yeah. Well, that's okay.
We'll just all take a little bite of one.
You burn calories as you eat it.
We are not actually sponsored by Prima.
No, but it takes a little bit of effort to eat it.
Yeah. Just like the olden days when they had great jaw lines because they always chewed on meat.
Lots of beef jerky.
Mm.
Or maybe that's just how they cooked it.
A little tasty. It is good though.
Back when you had to be a man, 12 years old, you got let out in the wild, take down a predator.
Come back, you come back, and if you
if
don't, you
come
don't.
back,
Yeah.
you're not a man.
Exactly.
You're actually dead.
Go pick berries, boy.
Yep.
You're a
Or-
woman now.
Or you died.
Yeah, well, one or the other. Yeah, the debacles of life, just like YouTube TV. What is going on, boys?
I don't know. I saw a stat last night that said Disney is losing about $5 million every 12 hours because they don't have ESPN or their channels on YouTube TV. But, who knows?
Those tides are going to turn, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely probably making a lot of money by everybody switching over to Hulu TV because, look, it's crazy that, I mean, I know when I have YouTube TV, the only thing I use it for is ESPN to watch sports. So you have ESPN, and then obviously on Sundays for football, you have your Fox and your CBS and your local channels that's on there.
Yeah.
And that's it, really. I mean, if I'm going to watch something else, I'm going to use a streaming service to watch a show because that's how we consume these days.
I canceled cable so that way I could just make it easier to find all the
Yeah.
sports
Yeah.
in one spot. Because then it just kind of,
But-
it pays attention to what I'm watching. And then,
Yeah, we were just talking about this downstairs, but it's like all these, like Disney called out Google because Google's like bullying the marketplace, and it's like at Disney you have like
Everything.
why are you playing the victim here? It's crazy. The only victims here are the fans of sports. That's it, and it's always that. It's always going to be the fans get the short end of the sticks, and they have to pay more. That's the same with everything, with NIL. And then the athletes get screwed because then now Stanford and Cal are going across country to play in the ACC and so on and so forth. Like the Pac-12 got decimated because of Disney and ESPN and their TV deals. That's why, I mean, and who gets screwed? It's the athletes, it's the fans. That's about it. And all we all want to do is just watch and consume sports.
Mhm.
That's it. That's it.
in this office anyway,
Well,
Yeah.
most people.
Yeah.
Most people.
it's a common
The
trend.
common man.
Yeah.
And woman.
Yeah, I found myself watching The Mummy late in the afternoon during editing of this.
Yeah, because
But that's just because Brendan Fraser is,
Your
timeless.
guy.
He's a timeless guy.
Yeah.
And they're doing a Mummy 4.
Are they really?
Oh yeah, I'll be watching that.
Some of those old school movies, man, we call them old school now. I mean, they're not incredibly
They're
old.
They're
but-
just
that
timeless
one-
classics.
Isn't that
Yeah.
like 20-some years old? though?
Mhm.
Yeah, the CGI was pristine.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that
Mhm.
dude's
Dwayne The
the
Rock
actual
Johnson.
mummy's face and stuff that comes out is so funny. how bad some of that used to be. But
Yeah, I tell
the
you what
story
was
was great.
cool growing up and watching, the prequels for Star Wars. Seeing that was sick.
Oh, you're talking like the
Like,
old ones.
no, I'm talking the one when I was a kid, 5, 6, 7 years old. I was watching episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. Not the ones from. Yeah, I watched the ones from the
Ages ago.
70s and 80s.
Oh, I
But
get
I
what you're
mean,
saying.
like
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
was
I
a kid
follow.
and seeing the clones and
Mhm.
lightsabers, like
Mhm.
a little bit, more modern than it was in the old movies.
Right.
Which old movies are obviously still the best, but
Still classics.
you
Sure,
know,
sure.
I
Yeah.
love the prequels. A lot of
Yeah.
people talk shade
So-
on the prequels.
So I don't know. Are we typically watch YouTube TV, but we might be making the switch.
I know,
Who
there's
knows? I mean, that's just kind of
breaking
up in the
news.
air for the sports side of things.
I mean, like I said, I haven't looked into it enough to know, but I don't really watch anything other than sports. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just the reality of it. So if I'm not going to be able to watch college football on Saturday, or at least have it on in the background,
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's just kind of it's a wild dynamic of the different things that are moving around there, which I'm sure everybody is wondering. But I don't know. The one thing I liked about YouTube TV is like you could search just about anything and find, if you were looking for a movie or were looking
Yeah.
for something, it's pretty easy. But I'm sure Hulu's the same.
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, I bet
Well,
you can.
When I went home this weekend, that's what my family uses, the Hulu. So
Yeah.
it's the same, basically the same thing. I don't know if you can do the split screen or whatever on there. Probably.
Multiview?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was like a YouTube TV exclusive. The
Yeah, see, that's a
multiview
pretty
thing
cool, that's a pretty cool feature. So that is something to
I
take.
mean, me, I'd rather switch back and forth because it's just too much for me to try them.
I like the multiple
Because-
users is good too because we have it here at the house, moving around, that type
Oh,
of
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, they
important
offer
too.
unlimited viewers if
Excuse me.
you have the premium.
Yeah,
Well, more money,
right. But how much is
Yeah.
that going to end up being a month?
$100.
Yeah, exactly.
Another extra $10 for that.
Yeah, something along those lines. But
Never ends.
that's our big debate in the office this morning.
Never.
Who
ends.
knows? We don't have much going on in the city for sports. I mean, basketball's getting their stuff fired up. Volleyball is ending. Sheldon said that Andale won the state championship. So hopefully
I'll have one of them on probably next week. I'm working on that right now.
and then obviously football is moving along. We're excited to have just a kid from Kansas on with us on the Friday Night Lights for Friday. He's going to tune in and talk about himself and what his cause is to do that kind of stuff. So just kind of fun there. But today's episode is another Wichita Parisi athlete, Gabe Rodriguez, and he'll be joining us shortly. But yeah, Gabe's been in this program for a while, man. So Sheldon, give it a little background on him and let's talk about what that journey has looked like for him, because it's pretty neat.
Yeah, he's got an awesome story, and I think it'll be fun to kind of highlight him on here, let him tell a little bit. But Sean and myself have both gotten to know him very well, and he's been a part of the Selects program for a while. And I think he started with me probably, it's probably been about 3 total years.
I think he started like right before I got here.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it was
about-
right around
about
that
3
same
years.
time frame. Maybe just slightly before. So I think I probably started working with him in the winter before that track season. Him coming out of football, going into that, and then obviously through his senior year
At
and
the
then
old
some time
facility?
after. No, it was here.
Oh, so
It was here.
Yeah,
2 years ago then.
yeah.
We would
Maybe
have
it's
no,
two.
we
Yeah.
would have freshly moved in here. He probably would have been like 3 months removed.
But great kid. Pretty, which I'll let him in his words kind of say it, I guess. But like he was essentially kind of shortchanged coming out of high school. Didn't know what he was going to do. Kind of took some time. Didn't do anything. Like was just working out, staying consistent on that side of things, and then, didn't really see a clear path in life. And has obviously, his family story and that type of stuff too. But then, persistence, being around me, as most people know, like I'm on you all the time. And then he kind of fell into but also earned some opportunity and kind of did some cool stuff with that. So I'm excited to introduce him, excited to talk to him. He pops his head in every once in a while and comes and says hello to Sean and myself. He acts like he's forever away when he's just literally about 5 minutes down the road. But
Well, he's here now.
We'll talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Gabe, good morning, man. How are you?
I am doing great. How are you guys doing?
Ah, there he is. Do you have
Good.
your headphones in, Gabe?
Hello. I do have an AirPod in.
Yeah,
put both of
take
them
those
in?
off. Turn those off.
Okay,
No,
okay,
no,
okay.
No, take
remove
them
'em.
out.
The audio is worse in those for some reason, we have found.
And he's on Parisi guest Wi-Fi.
Who is?
Gabe.
Is he really?
No.
He's
No, I'm on the-
downstairs.
I'm on
Yeah,
the-
he's downstairs. Gabe, can you see us? Can you hear us?
I can see and hear you.
Technical difficulties.
I don't see him. Oh, maybe.
Gabe, can you hear us, bud?
Yeah.
Are you on your Wi-Fi or on cellular?
Just had to make him take out the earbuds.
Yeah, he's freezing up on us, so we're gonna revert back here to Sheldon to tell the story a little bit.
Uh-oh. Where you at, Gabe?
Yeah, he's frozen in time. So understand that the link doesn't always, work the best if internet's not
Here,
great.
Here. Should we remove him? Tell him to try again?
Need to just shoot him a text and ask him. We can remove him,
All right, let's see if that
but
works.
shoot him a text and ask him if he.
You blew it. It's your one shot.
It's your moment.
Man.
You're gone.
It won't even let me remove him.
Well, I can try.
See the in call screen.
Let's see here. Remove. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
I don't know if it's. I mean, my studio is just weird, but
Yeah, he's timing out for sure. Shoot him a text. Tell him to either be on good Wi-Fi or something, because who knows why he's gone.
There we go.
And he's back.
There we go. I got some technical difficulties.
that's okay. You're on that high quality school Wi-Fi, I'm sure.
Yeah, they already had to upgrade it, and it still sucks.
Yeah,
It's all
that's
right.
fair.
It's
Well,
all
nice,
right.
Gabe. Well, good to see you, man. How was your day starting off? I know that you had some activities this morning, but how you
Yep.
feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Well, we just got done with morning weights about 8 minutes ago, so it's pretty good. Starting the season pretty good so far. Feeling really good. So, been in the training room every
Nice.
day just so I
Nice.
don't get hurt. So, it's
Yeah.
actually feeling pretty good.
It's important. Yeah,
Yep.
gotta not be injured to do what you're wanting to do. So that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, their trainers here are
Well,
really
good,
great.
man. Well,
I really love it.
Nice,
So-
nice. Well, yeah, man. Well, we're excited to hop on and talk about you a little bit today and kind of tell your story, and so we can help some up and coming athletes in our area get some motivation from you, and just kind of see who you are, and just kind of get some eyes in on your journey and
Yeah.
where it's kind of unfolded. I think you have a really cool story. Obviously, you and I have grown close. We've worked together for a long time. So I want to talk about that a little bit and kind of hear it from your words as well too. And you coming to the facility and being involved with our different things and just all of the things. I think that your story is it's really cool, and I'm sure that there is. They probably don't listen to us, but I'm sure that there is people out there that if they stumble across your story, they will use it as motivation, and we'll do our best to share it the best we can. But
yeah, for sure.
just kind of tell us where you're from. Tell us just kind of your history, and kind of lay out your timeline, and then we'll interject and ask you a few questions along the way.
Yeah. So I grew up in Kansas. I went to Goddard ever since middle school. I did sports all years of high school. Started my freshman year. Used to actually hate sports growing up. I really did. I didn't like it at all. And then my parents told me, you're only in high school once. So I decided to do some sports. Started out doing football with some friends. And so I thought I would hate it. And I actually really enjoyed it. It gave me such a fun time in high school. And then started doing bowling during the winter season. And so that was a good little hobby to have. And then track seasons came around. I did track in middle school, but it was kind of forced upon by my dad. But looking back at it, I'm really glad he made me, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him telling me to do track. and just kind of breezed through my freshman year because it was COVID year. And so kind of things were wacky. But then sophomore year came around, started long jumping, and started going off from there. Junior year, I became surprisingly fast and started joining our 4x1 and our 100-meter dash, and went to state for our 4x1 junior and senior year. And yeah, and I actually ran at state my junior year on a broken foot. Did not know it was broken until after the race. Because I woke up that morning, my foot was swollen. I was like, it's race day. I got to keep my mind straight, Got to lock in on those days. And then after the race, I was just like, I was crying, and everyone's like, you won, you won. And it's like, no, I'm crying because I got pain in my foot. So I went to the doctor, and then they're like, sent a picture to my coach the next day, like an hour later. And I was like, hey, it's broken. What do I do? He goes, well, you already ran your race. You have a good rest of your summer. I was like, all right, you know? And so then after that, I really didn't know what I wanted to do after high school. I kind of just was there. I had no intentions of going to college whatsoever. Really had zero. And like I had offers, but just wasn't my thing. And I was working out at Parisi one day, and Sean's like, you know, you wanna go to college? And I was like, not really, but we met with the track coach. He saw me work and did pretty good things here. And never did I think I'd be here at Friends University running track. The original plan was just HVAC and work until I can't anymore when I'm older. So
Yeah. Well, let's backtrack a little bit. When did you start coming into Parisi? Like when did you and I meet?
we met around my junior year that summer, that junior year, because I had just got off my broken foot and I wanted to get into shape better. And my dad knew someone who went to Parisi. And so my dad thought it was a really good idea to put me in here. And I'm not gonna lie, I was not enjoying it because I was doing practice and then coming to Parisi. But I really started to enjoy coming to Parisi a lot. I really enjoyed the atmosphere that you guys brought. You made me feel comfortable here, and like just made me, become a better athlete in general. I looked forward coming to you guys every day. And then it was just great. And then I kept going every day, winter and summer. I was there every day unless I had something really important. But I was there every morning or
Yeah.
night. I always made sure to be there.
Yeah.
So
Well, you were obviously in our selects program, which is, it's a commitment, right? Like not
yeah,
everybody's in that program because not everybody is, made for sports and not everybody's made to be a collegiate athlete. And I think the pieces of your story that really stand out to me are obviously you came off that injury your junior year. That's really when we kind of started working, kind of worked back and worked through that and we got to a point where you were faster and stronger than you ever were, but then you got hurt again.
yeah, I
And
did.
that's when that's yeah, I don't remember where you weren't here when it happened, but I don't know if you
No,
were running.
I was at practice. It was one of the
Yeah.
practices my senior year, and we were doing curve work. And as I was running the curve, my hamstring just popped. And I remember almost falling to the ground because of how bad it hurt. And I was just like, I thought my season was over, and I was partially out for the entire rest of my senior season, which is really devastating, honestly. But
Yep.
when I came back and
So
we started
during
working
that
on it
process,
slowly,
right? Like you
yeah,
pretty consistent still. Like even though you were injured, having some issues, kind of came up with a plan. We worked through a plan of, how do we make this work, right? When is our opportunity going to knock again? What are the things that we can do to get you ready?
uh,
And you didn't really get to do anything in track that year because of that, right? You were just battling the injury all year long. And
oh,
for somebody who hadn't committed, didn't necessarily have collegiate plans, like you had a few different people that you had talked to originally. I think you had talked to, if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you had talked to Pratt. Is that right? Ah, we lose Gabe again.
He's just thinking.
Yeah, it looks like he's thinking really hard, but I'm assuming his internet crashed.
Good night.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Baby, come back.
This dude's gonna have to get out of his dorm room, man.
Yeah.
Go to your car.
I'm gonna remove him again. Oh, he gone. He did it himself. I'm sure Gabe will come right back. Sheldon, you're gonna have to ask that question again.
Yeah, you probably couldn't hear me.
But I remember seeing Gabe here at the facility, just putting in that work. Him and his big earmuff headphones, and just locked in. You walk by, you just nodded at him or whatnot, and then sometimes he'd be like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
Move his headphone, and then have a little conversation. I mean, he's got his hands in a few things. I mean, I'll ask him about his car love
Yep.
for cars and working on that kind of stuff, and hopefully he'll get back in here and be able to tell us that story.
Yeah, he was his biggest thing always was just consistency was the key, and that's he was one of those kids you didn't have to remind to come and do anything. Like it wasn't like he needed to be motivated to do it. But what's cool about his story is he was doing that from a sense of like he just knew that it was the purpose. Like he knew that he had to if he wanted to provide himself, things outside of here. And it didn't have anything to do with sports, right? Which I'll ask him about that because there was points in times where like not that he would take like long extended breaks from us, but there would be points in times he's working a lot, like trying to figure out life, that type of stuff. But he would find himself like when he wasn't consistent in here, there was different things that were happening, which I think is pretty cool. Oh, there he is. Maybe,
He's coming back,
hopefully.
something like that. I'm sure he can hear us talk. Oh, he's gone again.
I texted him. I was like, dude, go to your car or something. Like, go outside.
Yeah.
But, he would come into the facility and it was almost like a solace for him, like he would be able to come in and kind of separate himself from, different people, different things. There you are.
There you go.
Hey,
I'm
buddy.
back. Sorry, school Wi-Fi. My bad. My fault.
There you go.
It is your fault.
Yes. Be
It is
better.
my fault.
There you go.
They limit you. They limit you for sure.
Yeah. But no,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
asking the question that I had asked you previously there was, you were battling through that injury, right? And didn't really get to have much of a senior season, right? Like you didn't track wise,
Yeah.
like you were just kind of,
Yeah.
you were there, you were at practices, like you were staying as consistent as you could, but your coaches never really gave you a chance to run your senior year because it was kind of a lingering hamstring injury, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was a hamstring injury, and like, coach just didn't want anything to happen more to me. He just wanted to give me any other chances,
Right.
just
So coming
because
out of
the
high
strength.
school, yeah, so you're coming out of high school and you don't have a senior season really, but the only did you talk to Pratt? I think you were talking to Pratt as possibly an opportunity to go and run track for them, right?
Yeah, I got an offer from them, and I did talk to them for a little bit, and it was just they. I guess they kind. It was more of me because I felt like I wasn't gonna be able to provide what they were asking because I was so afraid of that hamstring injury, and I didn't want to let them down.
Right.
So,
Coming out of that, this is the part of your story that I think is pretty cool, and I think that it's something that there's going to be a lot of athletes out there that go through this, and some of them don't come out on the other end, right? Like some of them, it is truly the end of their sports career, and that's okay, right? But coming out of that,
mhm.
you kind of went into this. I wouldn't call it like you weren't like in like some dark place, like crazy bad kid or anything like
No.
that, right? But you were
No.
definitely in, you were definitely kind of in this, like
Limbo.
yeah, like it wasn't like a super negative thing, but you also, I remember having conversations with you when you were having like little gaps of time in your training, and you would come in, and some of the things that moved me because of what you were saying was, like when I'm here and I'm consistent, my life is better. When I'm here and I'm consistent, the things around me and the people that I surround myself with and the stuff that is happening around me just seems to be better, right? There seems to have drive and purpose, right? So I
Yeah,
want you to
for
kind of
sure.
tell somebody that's listening, you're coming out of your senior year, you don't think you're going to go to college, you don't think you're going to do anything anymore. What was going through in your day-to-day lives, and then how did you kind of find your journey back into, essentially your training, and that's what kind of started your process going into college?
So for me, it was just like I kind of got bored of just after high school, all I would do was just go to work and go home. And I just fell into that little like I wouldn't say like depression or anything. It was just like it felt repeated and it got boring super quickly. And so then when I kept coming to Parisi, like I said earlier, I was looking forward to it and it would make me feel better as just a person, knowing that I'm working on myself to become a like healthier and stronger and everything, not just for me, but for my family, because I help out my family quite a bit and it helps to be stronger when that happens. And so then I just started working out more. And then I was like, there was one day I'm really enjoying this. And it made me start thinking about my future. Because if I love it so much, why not pursue it? For me personally, I think it's just helpful to know that I'm working on myself to become a better person. Because, like, it's really, for me, it's just working out is just a great thing and becoming a better athlete. And then here I am at Friends, like I said, and I never thought I'd be here, you know? I really enjoyed coming to Prezi and just getting that work in and becoming a better athlete all in all. And I didn't even know it because I was just lifting weight to lift weight, not knowing that it would make me stronger and better here as an athlete. I was just doing it to make sure like I don't get unhealthy. And I was getting bored of my daily life, you know? So that's
He was
kind of where
single.
I
He
was
was
Yeah,
at.
single.
And
He wanted to look good. Like
I
he was in
I
that
did.
spot where he's like,
I thought you were working
Yeah,
out
yeah.
to help your hobby with working on cars, being able to break a bolt loose or something.
Oh yeah, definitely trying to get in between just rip the car seats out of cars, trying to
Yeah,
detail them.
just full
That's why
Hulk
I was
mode out
actually getting
there. Yeah.
stronger, looking good at the lakes here
yeah.
because we don't have beaches.
There you
But yeah,
go.
it was
But
just
yeah, no,
I was just
super consistent at that time. Like and I think that
oh yeah.
there's a lot of that you got to kind of unpack, right? Like that's the hardest part, right? For anybody, even when you're in the mix of your season and you're in the mix of your careers, right? Like being consistent is the most difficult piece to just about everything in life, right? Being disciplined.
Oh yeah.
And I think that that's something that you showed at a young age where kids can go a very very wrong direction, and you continued to stay focused on yourself, like you were working on the things that you could do, controlling the things that you could control, and you stayed consistent. And then through the process of us talking all the time and me probably bugging you more than you wanted to be bugged about it, but I constantly was planting these seeds in your head. I'm like, Gabe, if you're doing this is the hard part, right? Like, and you're doing the hard part. Why would you sell yourself short? Why? Like, there is absolutely no reason that you cannot go and compete in college. Like, there's no reason. Like, and I would ask you all the time, give me a reason. Tell me why. Like, walk me through it. Like, give me all of the different pieces of what it is, and like just go and go and go and go and go. And and I think there's fear there, right? Like, and I think that you would probably say you were a little bit scared, and there's that, like, you kept telling me and there's nothing wrong with going and doing HVAC, right? Like, nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of people out there that make good money, good livings, blue collar work, nothing wrong with any of that. But I just kept having the conversation with you. I'm like, dude, you're 19 years old. Why does that matter right now when you're as talented as you are at what it is that you do, right? So what was going through your head at that point in time? Because I'm bugging you. Like, I know I was. Like, I was not gonna let it go. Like, you were in here all the time with me. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna let this kid, unless you just straight up tell me at some point in time that it's like, hey, listen, I do not want to do it, and like you're being honest with me. I wasn't taking no for an answer. I was like, I am gonna stay on you because I knew how talented you are. I know the type of person you are. Like, I know your dedication levels, that type of stuff. Like, so walk through that process from your perspective, because there's kids out there, there's athletes out there right here, right now that don't know what they're going to do after high school. They're not talking to any colleges, right? Which that's a big piece of this whole puzzle of what I made you do as well too, right? Like, and not everybody has somebody like us, or, that are in their corner essentially, right? So they're on an
Right.
island, they're by themselves, right? So tell them from your perspective, one, what your process was like, but then two, what are the things that you did to kind of lead you into where you are now?
So yeah, the process was I really like every day whenever you'd come in and talk to me about it, at the beginning I really did not want to. And I would not lie. I'd come home sometimes and be like, well, Sean's just talking to me about college and all this, blah blah. And I was just like, I don't want to do it. And there's some times I was like, I'm just sick of it. But the more you talk to me about it, the more I was like, I could like it was that slow little process of like you said, planting that seed in my head and, like, I started rolling with it, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I could do this." It was kind of like a mindset change for me, honestly, because it would just, like the more I thought about it, the more, I could do that. I could do that. That's easy. I could do this, and just and like you said, going back to that about people talking to coaches and everything, you made me text this coach, text this coach, text this coach. I was like, I'm not gonna get anything. I'm not gonna get anything. And some coaches were responding. I mean, there was rough there for a little bit, but and then whenever we reached out to friends, the coach responded, and you got him to come down here, honestly. And here I am at friends, but going down that path, it was just there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of fear because 'cause I'm a big money guy. I worry about money, and it's
Big money
just
guy.
expensive. That's one of the reasons why I didn't wanna go to college is how expensive it is, you know? And I was just worried that I would be in so much debt for the rest of my life, and then I would, like, not be able to do anything and not be able to spend the money on things I wanted, but looking like, I have time to pay that back, Like, I have no worry about money at this point, like, I'm honestly glad that I did this for the experience, and the journey is like, yes, it was frustrating, but it's worth it. It is worth it, I will tell you that. I am having such a blast here with training, so
Yeah, that's
but
I remember we had a conversation, Gabe. At one point, you were obviously in the midst of this guy just drilling on you time and time again. When he does that to his athletes, I kind of sit back. I'll share my opinion with them if they want it, but they're hearing enough from him. So, um, but you were in that position. You were torn between essentially, do I really? Because I think you really did love track and you loved work. I mean, you love moving your body, right? You
yeah,
loved working
sure.
out. So, um, you were crossed between that process and then, like you just said, like, I don't want to be in debt. So you asked me, which I am in my fair share of debt from school right now. So we talked about the pros and cons. But I do remember I was like, it's very real. Like college debt's very real. Like it's gonna happen. But um, honestly, the relationships I made in college are some of the most special relationships I've ever made, and the memories I have from that are essentially timeless. And it's honestly the way everything worked out. It's led me to where I am now. So I want to ask you, what are some of these what how are some of these relationships going here at Friends now that you're in the thick of it, you're rolling here, and how are those relationships? How are your experiences so far? I know you're saying you love training and stuff. Let's talk about just a little bit maybe outside of practice because it is fun to be, in a team working towards one goal, right? So just shed some light on some of that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I live in the dorms here, and we actually, have a lot of freshmen this year to the point where they have to put 7 people in the dorms. And so you would think like, okay, when everyone hears that, they go crazy. Like, I cannot live with 7 people. But I share a room with 2 other people, 2 soccer kids from Oklahoma. And, at first, I didn't think we were getting along because, when you first meet someone, it's that little awkward phase. But now that I got wrestlers, I got baseball players, and I got soccer kids in there. It's a great, like, time to get to know everyone's sports too, but just the relationships with just my 2 roommates alone has been such a great time, you know? We, like I remember there was, like, the first week there was, like, 12 o'clock at night, and they just were like, "Let's go to QT at, like, 12 o'clock at night." It's like, "You know what? Yeah, let's do it." Or we've done like, it's just great, and then they have pool tables here, and I remember, like, the first week 'cause it's like a orientation week for freshmen, and you just go downstairs and you can just hang out with everyone, and I've made so many friends down there just playing pool or playing ping pong, watching movies down there. It's really interesting, and then, like, you're walking down to your next class, and you'll see him, and you give him a high five, or you say, "Hey, what's up?" and you talk for a little bit. And it's honestly like and I never sit alone at lunch. I always have someone to sit with at lunch for those connections I've made here. There's always someone that has an open seat. There's always a group of people that want to hang out, you know? And it's just honestly a great time here, like with the relationships I've built here. And my all of my roommates and us get along, and we just have a blast all the time, you know? And it's honestly just a great experience to just have those relationships here. And I honestly think that they'll be my friends for a while, and I hope forever, you know? So,
Kind of a turning of the tables, with our conversations we've had at Parisi. You were very nervous about all of this in the beginning.
oh yeah, I was 100% nervous. I was afraid of everything. I was afraid I was gonna have no friends. I was afraid that I was gonna hate track and field here. I was just afraid. A big part of it was I was afraid I wasn't gonna be able to handle the school part. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really that book smart, but I'm figuring it out. I actually have all A's and B's right now, and it's going pretty well. I understand everything, and
Oh,
so it's
So,
honestly a great time.
we won't
so
call him
put
that.
putting that work in the classroom and on the track. So, dude, I'm
Oh
proud
yeah.
of you.
And, like, a good thing
Just
here
hearing
too
you.
is sorry, a good thing here that I wanna point out is the coach makes you have study hall hours. And so, at first it sucks, but it's like every week for me, I have to be in the library for 6 hours. I have to get 6 hours in the library of just me studying, and it's actually really good because that's my time I do homework. Because if I didn't have that discipline of, "Oh, I have to go to the library and do that," then I feel like I would not be as where I am right now academically if it wasn't for that time, you know? And it's honestly a really good thing that I have that, and because the coach puts academics before sports. He will bench you if you have bad grades. He will, like, make you not go to practice, and it motivates me to do better in the classroom itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the structure of collegiate athletics is very important in the sense of the development side and kind of what you're doing and your guys' coaching staff is amazing. I had really
Oh,
good
yeah.
conversations with him, obviously, as I was trying to get him to come and get some eyes on you. But I also really, and we'll probably have him on a pod at some point in time. He's not from here, but um, his philosophies behind how he's trying to run the program align really well and very similar to how we operate here. But he recruits locally. He tries to find kids that are around and close to here. He wants to have homegrown talent at the colleges that are here in our city, and that's a big piece of why that program is successful. And so I think that's kind of fun. I think that's cool. Let's dive in a little bit to the back in the story side too, because I think this is an important piece. Because when you were trying to make this decision on whether or not you were going to go to college, you didn't really have a lot of home support, right? And you ain't got to air
Yeah.
out all the business, and do the whole thing, I suppose. But you didn't, right? And I think that this is a lesson that people can learn, and and I would love to hear. And I haven't asked you because I haven't seen you as much over here, but I'd love to hear a little bit of an update on that support, right? I'd like to hear maybe how some of that stuff has changed now that you made a decision and you decided that you were going to do something. And because I remember the family meetings, I remember us preparing for the family meetings, I remember us talking after the family meetings. Like, I remember all of those things and where I was helping you try to navigate some of those decisions and go through that process, right? So walk somebody through, what it's like and how that kind of started and then where it ended up being at today.
Yeah, for sure. So whenever I brought up the topic of, college and everything, uh, my mom, it wasn't like disagreeing with it or anything. She just thinks that, she's just trying to have my best interest in the future. And she thought HVAC would be the way to go. And so she thought that college would kind of not be a waste of my time, but a waste of resources, because I get my like my money like issues with from my mom because we're both big like savers, but my dad was really supportive of it. He thought it's a great opportunity to do this. I had one parent telling me, like my mom supports me no matter what. She supports me now. Like she loves that I'm in college. She calls me every week, even though I'm like right down the street from her. But she at the time, she was just like, "I'm gonna support you no matter what decision you make, but here's my advice." And she told me that, it's probably not the best to go to college because I did struggle in high school with my grades, and she was worrying about that part. But my dad was telling me, "You'll figure it out. You can do it. You always have, and you get this opportunity, you know." And my dad would always bring up the fact because I took a gap year after I graduated to come to college, and he was like, "How many kids get the opportunity to come run track and field at a college a year after they graduate high school? Like, how often do you hear that?" And my dad would just keep repeating that to me, and it honestly like made me feel better about myself, because it's like that's pretty good, in my opinion. And like most of my family rest of my family was just like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Like they kept making me second guess my decisions all the time of if I want to do this. And there was one time I was just like, "I really don't know if I want to do this." And I was like, "I don't, you know what? I think it's best. And I think it's best if I don't go to college, because everyone kept bringing up money and all of that. And like, it was a big struggle for me. But with the support of you guys and my dad, and he was just like, "Yeah, you guys can like you can do it. You can do it. You can make it work. You can do it." And it just you guys keep repeating that to me overcame not the negativity of that other side, but honestly, it's the
Uh-oh.
best decision I've made, you know. I was really scared of taking this step because I didn't want to let down my family, "Oh, Gabe goes to college and wasted all this money and for what?" And, that's what I was worried about. But just this first semester, I'm enjoying it so much here. I'm like, I remember, sorry. Remember talking to my mom, I was like, "I'll do a year. I'll see if I want to do a year. I'll only plan on going for a year." And so far, I plan on attending all 4 years because I'm enjoying it that much. And my
Yeah,
mom is happy for
that's
me.
awesome.
Yeah, my mom is happy for me, and my family is now happy. Every time we go to family dinners, everyone's asking me, "How's college going, Gabe? How's this going?" My cousin who graduated like 4 years ago from a different college, he's like, "You enjoying college?" He goes, "Yeah." And it's just great. We have something to talk about, and everyone loves hearing my experiences at college, and everyone's ready to come watch me race now, like back in high school, It's pretty exciting, and we're over that hump
Yep.
now. So it's pretty good. My dad calls me every day, "How's college going?" You know? So yeah, that's kind of how
I don't.
the support system has gone so far.
Can you pick your
It's
phone
really
up?
great.
Get some tinfoil or
About
something. That thing is
that.
going in and out.
We need to tune you in somehow,
Yeah.
so because you just sounded like a transformer having a fit.
Yeah, there you
Bro, I'm
it
sorry.
seems
The school Wi-Fi is
you're
not that
good.
good here.
Get off the
Are
Wi-Fi
you
if you're
still
in your
on the
car.
Wi-Fi?
No, I switched to my data. It's just that I'm
Oh,
just in the
okay.
parking lot right now. So,
Well, yeah, no, I think that part of the story is very important because you had a lot of people in your corner, right? And that's where everybody turns in these situations for the most part, right? They talk to their family and they talk to the people that are closest to them, which is natural. And I remember this conversation very distinctly because you and I had this sit down kind of after a workout and I just kind of got straight to the point and was just like, "Listen, the people that you're listening to, right? What do they do?" And I was like, what do they do? Who are they? Tell me about what they are, right? And this is no knock to anybody that's out there, right? These are just the realities of this. The reality is most people don't play college sports. It's just the truth, right? So why am I listening to some uncle who works at a construction company, per se, tell me what I should be doing when it comes to making a collegiate athletic decision? Right? Sure, he probably has interest and he probably cares about me and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the reality of it is like these people have different life experiences than you, right? They have different goals, right? They have different things and difference of opinions. And sometimes that just becomes a lot of noise. It becomes a lot of different outlooks and opinions that just do nothing but make you more confused. And we kind of sat down and I was just like, listen, here's the deal. This is what I do for quite literal of my living, right? This is my life is sports and everything that has to do with sports and all the different avenues that we're involved with here. Let's just talk to a college coach who's in the mix of exactly what we're talking about, and let's get some raw feedback from the people that are in the mix of the things that we're talking about, right? And these are the extreme examples, but I don't go into the dentist and hope that a mechanic is going to be working on my teeth, right? Like it just doesn't, it doesn't work out very well, I wouldn't think, right? Same type of
know that.
yeah, same type of concept though, right? Like
Air tools.
yeah, let's not listen to a bunch of people. And I'm not saying they don't know anything or they're not, I'm not saying it as like an insult to their knowledge or their base or anything like that. It's just if you want something out of life, whatever it is, some of the best advice that you can follow is find the people that have what you want and then get around them. Like find the people that are doing the things that you think are cool and that you enjoy and like you want out of your life and try to follow those people. Right? Like it seems so common sense, but it's also something that if you allow noise to affect your decision making, then you're going to go down a different path. And that's okay. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing HVAC. Maybe you do HVAC after college, right? But you're 19, 20 years old. I don't even know how old you are, but you're not super old. You have the rest of your life to work, right? And we all do. Everybody does, right? You get one life to live. You do not want to look back on your opportunity to do something in college and then be able to look yourself in the mirror and just say, yeah, I was too afraid to do it. I was too scared. I was too scared to just try the steps. And I think that's where you got to, right? That was your mindset. You were like, well, I'll go for a year. I'll just check it out for a year. And I knew in the back of my head, I was like, yeah, dude, like, okay, like you're going to get there and you're going to go, and you have the pieces of it. And granted, this isn't a one size fits all. Obviously, college sports are hard, right? Everything about it is difficult. And, like Dave said, I incredibly proud of your journey, incredibly proud of the young man that you are becoming and how you have done this. And I think that all of these different things that you're, talking about here are going to help you become a better, man in general, but, a father, if that's something that you want to do eventually someday. Right. Like I think that these types of life lessons are the back end side of sports that get overlooked quite often. And there's a lot to be said about how you made a decision and, you went all in on that decision and you stayed consistent. You blocked out the noise and, you showed up like you did what you said you were going to do, and I think that that's an amazing piece of that. And, there's just a lot that goes into doing that whole thing. And, you got to have some faith there. You got to have some trust, and you gotta go after what it is that you say you want. So I think that portion of that is amazing. So
Gabe, all I want to say is it, the turmoil that we saw you in here trying to make this decision and then seeing you now, bro, you're thriving. And that's awesome. Like, that gives the goosebumps out there because you bet on yourself and you're trusting the process and this is I'm excited to come out there and watch you run, even though running, our joke is always that running for me like cardio sounds like a nice Mexican dish because that doesn't sound fun at all. But sprinting wise, I'd happily I'd do some HIIT training or whatever, but getting out there and doing what you're doing and absolutely loving your experience, you can't get that back, man. And being that guy who took the jump is huge. So I'm proud of you, man.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
man, keep working. Keep enjoying it. Let us know if you need anything. But if you slack off, you know who we're gonna call. So just remember that.
That's funny.
Sheldon, calling Sheldon. No, your coach.
Let's ask a couple random questions here just before we kind of hop off of this bad boy. Tell me, like what's your obviously you're still in your hometown, so you're still here in Wichita, so you're local to this. Are you doing anything from a day-to-day perspective like different? Obviously you got college that is the priority, but since you've been in college in comparison to your high school like day to day, is there anything different, from a positive light, right? Like, is there anything that you feel like is a completely different version of you that you're trying to kind of do on a day to day basis?
Oh yeah, for sure. So a big thing for me was eating lunch and dinner every night. Like it wasn't that I was getting fed or anything. It was just the fact that like I felt like I had no time to eat throughout the day. And now every day I have the routine of go to the lunchroom at 12, and then at dinner time have dinner with friends and everything. Whereas whenever I wasn't here or whenever I was just working all the time, I would just skip a lunch there, skip a dinner there, and it was low key. It was making me like not become grow, I guess I should say. But like it's a really positive thing that I got into the routine of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner now, and I'm really happy about it. And another thing is just improving my mindset, having that discipline to go to the library, like I said, for study on. Sometimes I don't even have homework and I'll read a book. I used to hate reading. Now I'll just read a random book that I'll get off the shelf or something and I'll read a couple pages. If I like it, I'll check it out and I'll read it. Just the little things and just making connections more. I mean, I talk to people, but I wouldn't like connect with them. I'd say, "Hey, how's it going?" Now I'm like, "Hey, how you doing today?" "Hey, you got that? How'd your test go today?" And just getting to know people and just overall just becoming a better person in my opinion of my mindset and eating every day and working hard every day. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I can see in my daily life going on.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, because honestly, like we try to be as real as we can on here and practical with the stuff that we're talking about. And I think that there's a lot of kids out there that hopefully see this and look at it and go like, "Man, there's a light at the end of the tunnel." Like there
Oh
there
yeah.
is. Like there's, if you're willing to put yourself out there, you're willing to do the work, you're willing to stay consistent, like, like you look happy. Like I don't know if that translates, but like you know what I mean? Like you look happy. And we've seen you in here day in and day out, locked in, focused, and different things, but like that enjoyment of the process is something that is amazing. Like, and I can't explain that to people really, but I know exactly what you're feeling right now, right? Like I know what that day-to-day process feels like. And you're getting to go through an amazing time in your life, and you'll look back on that time in your life and you will miss it every single day when it's gone, and you'll look back at it and just be like, "Man, I am so happy I did this. Like I am so proud of myself for doing it." And it's just awesome to see that on the sidelines and see you getting to go through it. And it's just beginning. You know what I mean? Like it's literally just starting right now. And I think that that's awesome. And hopefully you take those lessons and you give back, right? Like you help others and do that, which is exactly what you say you're doing, right? Connecting with people, doing all of those different things. Like I think that's that full circle moment of where you get to then, help somebody else in the next process. And I think that's awesome. And so again, man, proud of you. Super excited for you. Make sure you send us over a schedule so we can
Yeah.
kind of get some stuff together and come out and watch you, and tell everybody like what are your events? What are you going to be doing here in the springtime?
So right now we're just doing conditioning and we're just getting in shape and everything. Our first meets on is literally in a month from now in December, an indoor, which is something new to me. I've never raced indoor. But what I was told was I'll be long jumping and on the 4x1 like as a backup I think so far, but I think 100-meter dash too as well. or I guess an indoor at 60-meter dash. So just sprints,
Okay.
some little teamwork, sprinting, and then just jumping. So, yeah.
Awesome.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't
Looking
forget
forward
to
to
get
it.
us a schedule so we can come support you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Any other random questions for Mr. Gabe?
Can you get us a Friends University shirt for our swag wall?
I can. I can do that.
Ooh,
Can
little
do
Nice.
that.
little signature of Gabe on
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pop it up there. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Have
I can do that.
you bought shoes for track, or do they provide you with shoes
Yeah.
for
So
everything?
actually, here they gave us free hoodie. They gave us like 5 free t-shirts, and
Okay.
then he gave us all free tennis shoes at the beginning of the year for like training shoes. And so we got brand new shoes. And then you get spike checks where coach will examine your spikes to see if you need new ones. And I was able to get some new ones because he was like, dude, they stopped making these spikes like 2 years ago. So, but
Okay.
I got brand new jumping spikes from Nike. And it's like, I've never owned a pair of jumping spikes. I've only had sprinting spikes. And so it's really
Didn't
cool
even
to
know
get a
there was a
free.
difference.
I know.
What's the
I was just
difference?
like, so like jumping spikes are where the placements of the spikes are in the shoe itself, so it gives you more like a spring off the board instead of
Okay.
like sprinting spikes are like mainly for like gripping the turf or whatever the track, you know. So and then it's like
Technology and
yeah, there's
shoes.
like Velcro on the jumping spikes to like hold your feet down more. Oh yeah,
Huh.
it's interesting. I didn't know that either. I was just like, all right, here we go.
Jumping spikes to provide downward force.
I like it. I like it. Tell
Oh
me
yeah.
tell me about your teammates, right? Like, do you have like a running buddy or a jumping buddy? Like, do you got,
So we've
like
all just
obviously
been
your roommates are a little different, but
yeah. So at practice, I mostly just I hang out with everyone. There's a guy who runs the 800. His name is Thomas, one of my closest friends here at Friends this year. Just because everyone is now associating us with each other. It's like, where's Thomas? It's like, I don't know. And then people go up to him, where's Gabe? It's like, well, we don't know. Like everyone sees us together and it's honestly great. But I hang out with distance people. The sprinters are pretty cool here. Everyone hangs out. It's really cool. We're really just one big family, honestly. Everyone knows everyone and no one has like a group where they hang out with, you have your jumpers over there. It's like everyone talks to each other because we all warm up together every day too. And so it's just like you get to know everybody. Everyone knows everyone, and when it comes to like individual work, yeah, you have someone there. Like I race with Braden a lot too, but he's a multi. And so he does everything, and he does pole vault and all this. I hang out with Darian, who's a pole vaulter himself, you know. And so there's not really the only person I can really see is Thomas because we're always together, and he's a long distance kid. But yeah,
hey, multi might be in your future. You never know.
we'll see. I'll give it a try. I did some pole vault freshman year of high school. Wasn't good, but we're here.
Just pick pick up a little bit of anything, learn from everyone, kind of a
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Hammer throw.
Go ahead.
Hammer throw.
Oh, hammer throw.
Go into throwing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got the body weight for that.
Yeah, probably
I don't
probably
think
He's
not.
too
But
lean.
yeah, you're
Gentleman.
pretty
Yeah, he's
Like
too
Gabe
lean.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, how about that? That'd be a good question too. Like, shameless plug for us, I suppose. Like, tell kind of your perspective on, like obviously training here for a few years. How did that prepare you for college, right? What did the selects program do for you that got you kind of, other than me bugging you about going to college, I guess, but outside of that, we won't even include that in the program, but outside of that, like, what did the physical aspect side of it get you ready for college?
Oh, it got me so ready for college. Like I said, we've been doing conditioning since the school year started. And there was not gonna lie, there were some people that like were struggling, and I've seen kids drop out of the workouts just of how hard it is. And I have yet to drop out of a workout because of all the conditioning and all the training we did at Parisi to get me ready for that. I was running, I was lifting weights because we have weights programs here too. Like I said this morning, I just got out of morning weights, and yeah, it's a struggle, but I feel like I'd be a lot farther behind everyone if I didn't do the Parisi course, you know? And it really got me ready for anything. I I really appreciate going there every day and doing those workouts because I would not be here, like, I wouldn't be physically where I am right now in college track if I didn't attend the Parisi,
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
well, you did the work, man. Like that's always what it boils down to. Like we can put all the coolest things out there and talk about them and all of those things, but you got to do the work. And
yeah.
you did the work without being asked to do the work. I mean, you for the most part in the entire time that you were here, there was a few times everybody has their own slips and falls and different pieces, but you had a lot of things that you were working through to determine what the future was going to hold, and you did really well and you're doing really well and the pieces of everything are moving in a really good direction. So man, I'm excited to see the season. I'm excited to see kind of where things happen. Let's just leave you with this, just keep doing what you're doing, right? Because you sound like you're being dedicated. You sound like you're being consistent. But, I think bigger picture stuff sounds like you're being a really good person. Sounds like you're being a good teammate. Sounds like you're being someone who is there for everybody. And, that's the big picture stuff of finding your role in your program and then exceeding that role and turning that role into opportunity over time. And, good things happen to good people, and we want those to, kind of move your direction. So yeah, man, we appreciate you having some time or figuring out your Wi-Fi to hop on with us and get out here and get with us. Definitely stop by the facility and come say what's up
Oh, yeah.
whenever you want to swing down.
Oh,
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got, man. That was great. It's good to
alright.
check
I
in with you and good
appreciate
to hear
you.
from you.
Appreciate you guys
Yeah,
inviting me.
it was good to see you excited, man. Like that's huge.
Sean, anything else? Any follow-ups?
No.
Okay. Sean's locked
Alright.
Yeah,
locked
he's
in
locked
place.
in. All right,
Amen.
Gabe, we know you got to
Alright.
get somewhere by 11, so we'll give you a 3-minute run, and
Alright,
hope you
got
have
you.
a good day. We'll see you soon, man.
Alright, I'll see you guys too. See ya.
See you, buddy. Now his phone won't get off. It just
Right.
stays on there the whole time.
Man, that was awesome and inspiring. Like just knowing what we know and his where he's at now. Wow.
Just a good kid, man.
Yeah.
Like just a good kid, worked hard. Dad's been in his corner. Stepdad, actually, he didn't say that, but he'd been in his corner and really tried to push him along and done things to help him. And I mean, there's more to it, obviously, but it's just it's cool to see him following in those footsteps of you know the things that he knows that he wants, but was somewhat a little bit too afraid to try and do. And ultimately, like we talked about, I think that has to do with when you surround yourself with people that don't have the same vision as you, you're going to end up following in a way that you may not even know that you want to. And it's, that surroundings, has an impact. And I think he was feeling that firsthand. And, I'm very thankful and blessed and, happy that I was able to get through to the piece of his decision making to take a step back, look at it from a different perspective. And that's like, that because he's going to be awesome in college. He's going to have a blast and he's going to do really well. And, sometimes people just need somebody in their corner that believes in them, and I think all of us, you guys collectively in that as well too. Like we believed in him. Like we believed in what he was doing. We saw it. We could tell. Like when you get people like that are around you, like then that momentum starts to go in a different direction. And that's kind of what happened there. And he's a good kid, man. It's fun to watch. Like I said, good things happening to good people.
Yeah, excited to get out there and watch him chase that dream and do something that he loves for sure.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, fellas? That was a good one. I like that one. That was fun.
That was a good one.
Good dude.
Sean, you got anything you want to chat about? You still debating on YouTube TV and Hulu Live?
That's all right. Well, I've already switched over to Hulu TV, but
Mentally?
no.
You already have Hulu?
Yeah.
The live one?
The whole thing with Disney Plus and ESPN?
I don't know. I'm paying for it. Yeah. Paying for something.
Is it $100?
No. I think it's
okay.
between the two of us is 80.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's not like the full ESPN package or anything, but it's just live TV. I think it's live TV, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus. Pretty sure.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, we'll check it out. Anyways, we're going to turn it over to Sean for our end of podcast prayer.
All right, let's do it. Lord, thank you for this great conversation we just had with a really good young man. I just pray that, as he continues, he's a newcomer over there. Friends, they make him go to chapel. So I pray that he hears your words and continues to maybe build his faith too. And I pray for his teammates as well, for his health as well going forward as they get ready for this season. Just thank you for, putting him in a place now where he can look back and appreciate tough conversations, appreciate the people who, were willing to have those conversations, whether it was against the grain or for the grain, just because I think ultimately everybody gets to see a finished product of what the motivation was to start with, and see whether that kind of shapes their worldview, because your worldview is always going to be a product of your environment, Lord. And I just pray that our environment's built upon you, and I just pray that you're going to be with Gabe as he goes along in his journey. In your name we pray, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Well, that's episode 13 for Kansas Sports HQ. We will see you next time.